Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My brothers, my sisters in Islam, welcome back to another episode of Roaming Ramadan Lessons on the Road. Today I have a very dear guest. I will introduce her in a while. I actually wanted to introduce her from her blurb of her book titled The First Decade. And the reason why I want to read it to you, because this is how I got to know her after actually meeting her in person. So when I met Sister Vivy Yusof in person, she didn't tell me about anything that I'm gonna read for you now. So for example, she said she started to blog on the internet and then she borrowed 16,000 US dollars. And then now, according to her, she said she had built a multi-million-dollar fashion company. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Everybody say, MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Please, please.
Alhamdulillah.
Now, the reason why I'm reading this to you, a part of what's written at the back of her book, is that when I met her in person, she told me that she went to the UK, she did some studies, some work, and then she started something online. And then she said, and the business was well, yani we did well. That's all what she said.
Yeah.
And when I read this and I saw that, mashallah, tabarakallah, you established really an empire of a brand that is very well known, not just in Malaysia, but in also surrounding neighboring countries, what came to mind the word humility and humbleness. Why you didn't introduce me to yourself as the one and only duck?
The duck.
The
Duck.
the
That's
duck
what he keeps calling us.
who built this, mashallah, tabarakallah, multi-million-dollar company. Why you did not emphasize that when you met me to invite me for an event here in Malaysia?
There was not enough time.
So if you had the time, you would have bragged about everything.
I don't know. I felt so. I don't know. No one's ever asked me that, but I just wanted to talk to you about the community more than me and my brand or me as a business person, because when I met you, it was more on the personal, spiritual growth that I think I'm on. And I want to invite my community and my followers along. So I didn't want it to be about the brand or about business.
And this is what astonished me most, because most people who come to talk to speakers, they have a name card, business
A
card.
whole paragraph about themselves.
Yes, and they introduce us because they wanted to know who they are so that we can be, wow, I want to be with this guy, you see? So that was the first thing that caught my attention and actually made me feel comfortable coming back, working with you. Alhamdulillah, we had a blast, mashallah,
It was
tabarakallah.
amazing.
A weekend full of inspiration, Quran, night prayer, tahajjud, and so many other activities and workshops that, alhamdulillah, we've been reading the feedback that were sent by the participants on our pages, and
I'm sad it ended. Like, I need it to be longer.
alhamdulillah.
I need you to stay here all the way till Eid.
Now here's one of the questions, the reason why I got you on camera for my program.
Okay.
You're into business,
Yes.
selling hijabs,
Yes.
scarves, and bags and stuff like that.
Clothes. Yeah.
Why did you invite a person like myself to teach Islam to your community? And this is your first event ever of that type, like, Islamic event.
Yeah. So all this while, of course, being a fashion brand, we have to do the fashion stuff, like the previews, the fashion shows and all. But I've always thought, I have been blessed with having followers and a big community online. And is that all I want to do for them? Like, sell them things, beyond that, I feel like I have a bigger purpose, or maybe Allah's given me like this whole reach and testing me, like, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna see dollar signs and just sell them things? But to me, I thought it would be so nice to give them back something as well. So I'm on my own, journey of wanting to be a better Muslim, a better person, and I've started to learn a lot of things, and I've been going to Islamic talks, and I just thought every time I go, I feel like it's changing my life. And I feel more fulfilled, I feel more calm, I feel happier. And it's just that yearning of wanting to learn. And then when you want to learn, why not bring everyone with you as well? So I met you when you were giving a talk, and I just loved the way you deliver. You have an amazing gift. And you're funny. I always say that he's very funny, actually.
Don't believe him.
So, and for people like me, if you go really hard on the rules and all, like, I may turn away, or I may feel intimidated.
Let me interrupt you here.
Okay.
Of course, we every speaker, every scholar, every sheikh, everyone has his own style of addressing these topics. I can't imagine myself going full force and hard on people. And the reason is that I believe if I don't use my own personality in delivering anything, it will not reach the hearts of the people. So that's who I am actually off camera. And you probably have observed that the jokes that I throw at the people on
the stage,
do
that
I do the same
stage.
off camera. At home, everywhere I go, that's me, and I don't want to change it. But that's, of course, we don't belittle of other mashayikh who are a little bit tough. So we need that. Some people, they don't actually wake up from the sleep unless some of the mashayikh go hard on them. Some people, they like that approach, which resonates with you. So everyone has his own way, mashallah. But the question remains, why now? Because many people think that when you look at you, mashallah, we observe Sister Vivy when we go down the market, people recognize her, mashallah. They ask her to, come with for photos and stuff like that. So despite your popularity and the fame and the wealth, alhamdulillah, that you have established, you're still feeling that there's something missing. What is that thing?
I don't know. I think it's that I don't know. I can't explain it to words, but it's just the feeling of it'll never be enough. If it's just about business, whether you're making 1 million or 10 million, it's never enough. You're always like, okay, I need to make more. There's just never that satisfaction. But and also never having peace of mind. I don't know if there are entrepreneurs watching, but if you have a business, you can't sleep at night because you're thinking.
I never sleep at night.
Because you're doing tahajjud, mashallah. That's what I meant. No, but you're constantly worrying. You're worrying for your staff, you're worrying for their families, you're worrying for whether I can pay salary, or worrying whether you have, you can meet your sales target. You're always worrying. So I went through that, especially during the pandemic, and I felt like this cannot be what life is all about all the time, and then I went through something online, and then I started picking up the Quran, and I read surah by surah, but this time I read the meaning. So here in Malaysia, we always get forced by our parents when we're young to go for religious classes, like Quran classes, but just to read and khatam, right? But we never fully understand the meaning. And so now as an adult, I'm like, okay, I need to learn each surah and know what am I reading actually. So I went through it surah by surah, and I took notes, and that was like the best Ramadan I've ever had, because I went through something quite like being online, being on social media. I'll get attacked all the time, and I went through the biggest attack at that time, and no one can help me. No one could say anything that could make me feel better when I'm being slandered and all that. So I went to the Quran. Somehow my heart opened. Just pick this up and see where it goes, right? And I did, and I was at my happiest, and I don't know how or why it's just magical.
So you see, sometimes I went through similar experience when I was coming from the music industry, searching for the truth, and then finding Islam, and then prostrating, and then my wife seeing me, and then she becoming a Muslim from Catholicism, and the happiness that we achieved through Islam overweigh any other fame, any other money that we made in our life. So is this where you are at that stage, like transitioning from the worldly,
Yeah, and I have opened up to you that sometimes it gets confusing, because if it's about Islam, then I'm like, my business as well. So how do you juggle both in this dunya while also thinking about the akhirat? So I think that is where I'm at, and
can I answer you now in front of the people?
Yes.
Okay, please. So there is no balance between dunya and akhirah. There should be no balance between this dunya with all its wealth, money, fame, you cannot balance this dunya, business, income, and so on, with Jannatul Firdaus, with the Jannah, which the Prophet ﷺ said, in it there is no, there's that which no eyes have ever seen, no ears have ever heard, and never crossed human imagination. How could you compare that to the dunya? Yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this day I have perfected your religion for you, completed my favor upon you, and chosen Islam to be your religion. How could such a perfect way of life Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given us, that's Islam, be compared to the worldly matters? So if you give your deen, it's the first priority in your existence, everything else will fall into the right place smoothly without you even worrying about it. Because what you worry, we were talking about stress in business and all that. What you worry about, already Allah promised to guarantee you. So Allah said in the Quran, وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ وَمَا تُوعَدُونَ. In heaven, your provision is kept with me, and whatever I promised you to provide. So that's His job. That's Allah's job. But you're stressing about what Allah told you already, it's kept with me. You see? But what He inquired from us is to worship Him as number one priority. After that, anything is secondary. Business, making money. I was almost in tears when I saw your brand next to other.
I took him to the store.
Yes, because you see, we sometimes act hypocritically. I'm not saying that we are hypocrites. I'm saying we are sometimes acting hypocritically in the sense that we see those foreign brands and we go crazy. But when we see such a successful brand made by Muslims for the Muslims, yes, it's expensive like other brands that you run after and buy, and and you even buy it's fake from China sometimes and you brag about it. Here is a sister who established a brand that is very, very successful, elegant, mashallah, tabarakallah. And sometimes people still send you those hateful messages and whatnot. For what for? We should support every Muslim businessman or woman, so long as they are living according to the Islamic way of life, earning from halal means. What do you say?
Oh, I need to digest that. That was beautiful. I needed to hear it myself, and I think it will benefit a lot of people as well. Sometimes we forget that because we're chasing the dunya so much. I need to hit my target, or I need to, double my growth or whatever. That becomes the entire thing you think about. And that's why I felt like every time I pray, I feel at peace. And that's why I find myself wanting to do more of that, because I love that feeling. It's almost as if God's like enveloping me in His hug, like you're okay, you're gonna be okay, and
so long as you please Him,
yes,
you will be okay.
Yes, getting better, looser clothes.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. She learned a lot, alhamdulillah. And I would like to ask all the brothers and sisters watching us to pray for Sister Vivy. It's not easy. It's never easy to make a shift from where she is to something completely different. I was praising her team because they were never trained to organize an Islamic event, and she gave them only 1 month to organize. The event was sold within 1 week, I believe.
Yes.
And then all the brothers and sisters involved in organizing, putting things together, they were very keen, very dedicated, very professional, always cheerful. And alhamdulillah, to me it was one of my favorite events ever. Jazakallah khairan for being on the show, and I hope and I pray that next time inshallah we'll see some niqab on your lines.
Okay, that's it. Okay, fine.
I hope that you get
so less of those ripped jeans, no more?
No, a'udhu billah. Just closer and closer and closer to what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go and read the story of Sister Vivy. Her book is available, The First Decade. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.